Before the send ever took place, our friends Andy Bird, YWAM, gave us a word that the pre-send gatherings that would fill stadiums would actually be called, the name of those gatherings would be called Ekballo. We didn't even know what it meant. We look it up, and it is the scripture where Jesus said, I command you to beg me, the Lord of the harvest, to Ekballo, send forth, hurl forth laborers into the harvest field. I believe it was critical before the send gatherings that we would actually pray the prayer of the Lord of the harvest, who says the send doesn't take place unless there's the prayer, Lord, hurl forth Ekballo laborers into the harvest field. I got gripped by this passage where Jesus actually is broken to pieces when he sees the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and he's moved with compassion because they're harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. And he gathers his disciples, and he doesn't say, oh, well, disciples, the harvest truly is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So, maybe once in a while, just say up a few shandais and pray the Lord of harvest to send forth labor. He comes out burning with passion. I believe he might have even been weeping, saying, oh, the harvest is so plentiful. Listen, bros, listen, you gotta pray. I beg you. And that's the word he uses in prayer. It's beg, and it's a command. I command you to beg me. Pray the Lord of the harvest, not to send. The word isn't send there in Greek. It's the word ekballo. It is the word where he says, if I drive out demons, the kingdom has come upon you. What would it mean if God drives forth laborers into the harvest field? I've told the story of my own daughter, who when I was praying this ekballo day after day, I found myself praying this prayer in my sleep at night. It's like prophecy. And my daughter came to me and she said, Dad, I had this dream, and I was in this huge auditorium sitting in the front row, and Lauren Cunningham was preaching, and he was looking at me, and he was preaching on the mantle of Moses coming on Joshua. And suddenly, Dad, she said, he fell to the ground and died. And in the dream, I leapt up on the stage, began to give him CPR and saying, Lauren Cunningham, you can't die yet. Your task isn't finished. You can't die yet. Your task isn't finished. Everyone knows what Lauren Cunningham's task is. It's to mobilize waves of thousands and hundreds of thousands of young people to finish the task of missions. And she said, then suddenly Lauren Cunningham rose from the dead, grabbed me by the shoulders, and said, it's not my task to finish, it's yours. Because of that encounter, she was ekballoed, and today she is in the mountains of an unreached people group in the Middle East, in a one-bedroom little house with her husband and one-year-old boy without a toilet. She's got a squatty potty, and doors are opening to the gospel to Muslims, and I can't help but thinking, a father's prayer ekballoed his daughter. What if millions worldwide, even in this fast, would be crying, Lord of the harvest, hurl forth laborers into the harvest field. Oh, wouldn't God do this all over the globe? Listen, it was Rees Howells in that great book, Comments on Andrew Murray's word on this very verse, Matthew 9:38. And Andrew Murray said this, according to Matthew 9:38, the number of missionaries on the field is entirely dependent, say it with me, entirely dependent on someone praying those prayers. If that is true, then that prayer should be on the fiery lips of the church worldwide, day by day, until this task is finished. It's not your task to finish. It's ours. It's time. Pray the Lord of the harvest to hurl forth laborers to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and hurl forth laborers to the last tribes. Finish the task and bring back the king.